back here with Clem for part 2, and we're going to get deep on this podcast.
Yes. I hope you have your submarines. Your scuba gear.
We're going deep, multiple layers.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the lifestyle, the good, the bad, and the ugly, how to balance your life, your lifestyle with the career path that you've chosen. So this isn't going to be about people that are that are just starting out or looking.
Okay.
You're in it. You've been doing it for a while. Yeah. Actually, this might be good for people that are thinking about it, so they know what they can expect.
Right. This is part of my platform. This is part of my coaching. This is part of the things that I teach people. This is part of the things that I help people with. Have the conversation with people so they can realize their own situation and make those adjustments through life. Because this industry is a journey. Okay. This isn't something that just happens overnight. You're on a gig and now this is your thing. Like with time, you get better. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Well, you made a really good analogy about how you align a projector with a screen, and you could probably go into a lot deeper than I could.
Yeah. So,
but how that affects everything that you do with the projector is affected on the screen. It's almost like when you start out as a tech and you're really young and you don't have a lot of responsibilities, the way you work then and the discipline that you do or don't have then will affect yourself longer in life. It's like people that work out in high school. Right? And they get out of high school and they're in really good physical shape. What's nice about that is you're going to go through your whole life not having to diet, not having to work so hard like the rest of us that didn't do that to try to get in the shape. So if you start
but
out
you
as
could lose it.
You could lose it, but it's
not
easier
disciplined
to get it back. Now,
right.
if you're a new freelancer or you're just starting in the industry, you can make those choices now that make the rest of your career easier.
Right.
Or you can make the wrong choices early on, which a lot of us do. I certainly did. And as you do this longer and longer, it's harder to break those habits. I always notice well,
let me give the analogy.
Yeah, bring it on. Let's go there.
We were having that moment. So you asked me, am I, in the first segment, do I see myself as a projectionist? And yes, I do. Okay. Not just a video projectionist, but I try to help people think about it from a projection standpoint. Okay. As a video projectionist, I am dealing with video projectors. And that video projector is here. And then we have the screen, which is typically 16 by 9, but if it's widescreen, curved, whatever the case.
It's out there somewhere.
It's out here, right? There's a throw distance, okay? And so like the last show I did, it was a 43-foot throw distance, okay? So now let's think about that, 43 feet, okay? That's time, that's space. We're starting off right here. The projector is present day. Outside of that projector is light, comes light. Light travels. Over time, light travels. That screen, 43-foot throw distance, is in the future. That light is traveling through time. So, okay, let's look at that screen. It's 43 years, okay? Not 43 feet, but 43 years. So any adjustment that I would make on that projector in the present day is affected on that screen. So if my projector is a little high in the front, right, a little high in the front, then my image is going to
a keystone,
right. So I know as a video projectionist, if I lower the front or raise the back, then it will, it'll square up my image. And so the same thing with your life. You can make adjustments to your life, whether you need to, affect your keystone or whatever the case, your skew, that will affect your ideal image, your projected image. So now you need to sit, it's taking that time. And I was an extrovert. I was very much an extrovert, just everywhere, just flying around, buzzing around, talking to people. But there was times where I needed to just sit down and be still and look inward and understand what's going on in my life, especially when I was at a point where I was about to lose everything that I was working for. How do I adjust my present day self to create the ideal image that I see for myself or my family, my wife, what we see for ourselves? Because I'm off track right now. I'm shooting way off to the side. And if I don't make any adjustments, I'm going to continue along that path. And I'm completely missing my ideal image.
You said, if we can discuss it, you said you almost lost it all. Was there a point where your career was taking precedent over your personal life and it was starting to affect things?
Oh, yeah. Because I felt like I had to. I felt like I had to work. Like, I'm getting these offers. Yeah, by getting those phone calls and those emails, that was validation. That was validation that I was doing something right. That was making me feel good. It was making me feel accomplished.
It's almost like an endorphin hit. When you get that
definitely.
Call and you book it on your calendar. It's almost like a drug.
Definitely.
Oh, man.
And especially when one of those people calling you is your mentor, one of those people who trained you to do the skill that you're doing, of course I want to be there for him. Of course I want to be there, when if he's telling me that he needs me, But at the same time, my family needs me. My kids need me. That's the next generation. When I'm gone, those are the ones that will live on. And if they don't have parts of me, then parts of me die.
And the thing that a lot of people don't figure out, maybe until it's too late, is the industry will always be there. Like, you can always step away from it and come back. And I think that's what's really powerful about it, is you can go from full-time to freelance to full-time. You could be you could be a stay-at-home dad and do a gig a month just to kind of keep yourself fresh. You can mold the industry to you. What you don't have any influence over is your family. Like, you can't just go back to that sometimes and say, all right, I'm just going to fix this, because sometimes it's too late. And what we were kind of talking about when we weren't recording is sometimes when relationships deteriorate, it's not like you hug your wife and it's a great relationship and you come back and she's leaving you and the bags are packed. It's sometimes, especially women, sometimes they throw out very subtle signs. And if you're just work, and the other thing, if you work in a normal job, you at least come home every night and you can see those signs play off. But if you notice something's off and then you go away for 2 weeks and then you come back,
right. Or you're looking forward to going away because you feel like something's off. And I don't feel like dealing with this. I gotta go.
And that's the worst part, is sometimes you can use the road to medicate yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So basically you can justify being away from your family, or justify taking you out of if you've got unruly teenage kids, you can say, well, baby, I got to go away on a month-long worth of gigs, but college is coming, we got to pay for it. Right. So then you can kind of pull yourself out of your life and use the road and the industry, and busyness to kind of justify that.
But you said like college and needing to pay for that, right? So part of the platform, part of the things that I'm doing on my YouTube page, clemcoav.com, there's the Clemco AV basic budget template. I created a basic budget template for independent contractors to learn how to do their budget and then manage their shows and their time and their whole process and their expenses. All of that is available as a downloadable thing. Like, just take it. It's information to help you to do better, to help you to live better, because it starts with the budget, right? How many days, the question I ask most people, how many days do you need to work per month?
Yeah, let's say you want to make $85,000 a year.
Right, it's math.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to work.
Let's do the math.
Oh, I'm not really good with math,
but
it's.
No, you got to calculate.
But it's not. It wouldn't take a lot. Let's say your day rate's $500 a day, right? Just a standard day rate. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not a lot of time.
So you said how much you want to make?
Let's $85,000.
$85,000. Okay, $85,000 a year.
A year.
So we're going to divide that by 12. Okay. So that's $7,000 per month. $7,083 per month. Divide that by 500. 14 days.
So 14 days
14 days a month. Okay. I reached out to somebody the other day. They posted on social media 25 days straight. I saw that on there. I didn't like it.
Right.
I texted him, why are you working 25 days straight? Because we've already had this conversation. And he said that after he posted it, he almost texted me because he felt a little guilty because of a conversation that we had. Like, 25 days straight is a long time.
Well, and to make that 85, that's not that's just straight. That's straight 500. That's no overtime. So
right. That's no overtime.
You might be able to do that in 10.
Right. So now, if once you add in the overtime, you can minimize the number of days that you're working per month because that overtime is rolling over. However, we're also talking about $500, right? What I tell people, you should be living off of 60% of that money. So right. 500. So that's $300. 25% is for taxes. Okay, 10% is for cushion when times are slow.
Yep.
And 5% is for minimal retirement. So now that's 40% being set aside, just investing in yourself. You are an independent contractor. Nobody's investing on your behalf. There's no company looking out for you.
Exactly.
There's no company giving you incentives, a 401k to keep you on board, paying for your health insurance. All of these are things that you need to think about.
And
for
these
yourself.
are things that people don't think about either. Is if you're a projectionist and you break your foot, you go skiing, you break your leg, you can't do your job for 3-6 months.
Right.
Now
How much money you have set aside?
Now you're not earning.
Right.
But I think what we're talking about here is really interesting, because if you start with what you want to make or what you need to make, right, and that's your framework, from there you can basically curtail your career. Meaning, if you want to make more money,
you can curtail your life.
You can curtail your life. So, for example, I want to make $80,000 and $90,000. I'll have no problem working 12 to 15 days a week. That's really easy, right? Now I want to make more money. Well, make yourself more valuable. Raise your day rate. Now I'm $550. Now I'm $600.
But that's the thing, though. A lot of people just want to raise their day rate because they feel like other people are charging.
Well, you got to go with the market.
You got
to go with the market.
Yeah, what makes you valuable?
The question is, can you demand that? Can
right.
you and a lot of people can. So get what you're worth. Well, now if you want to make the same amount of money, now you can work less days. Then the other thing that I really like too is growing your personal business. So figure out ways to invest in yourself, so you're not only selling your time. You figured out ways to do it.
Yeah, I'm selling my process.
You're selling your process. What a lot of people do in the image processing side of things is they'll buy an E2 or they'll buy a Spider, and they'll take that on show site with them. I don't know a lot of guys that are buying projectors yet and bringing them out there, but that's how companies start too.
Yes.
And now things take on a whole different dimension. But it's that framework.
Yes.
So if all you say is, I made 80 this year, now I need to make 100, now I make 150, all you're going to do is work more, you're going to kill yourself, and your relationships are going to go down. If you frame it in and give yourself some boundaries, well, then from there you can make yourself more powerful in the industry and bring more to the table.
Right.
And I think that sense of, it's almost like that putting restrictions on yourself can actually in the long term be better for you.
Yes. No, I completely agree. And, even with that, you were talking about now you're a company, now you're a business. But how many technicians have taken the time to learn how to be a business? It's not just I have gear and now I'm raising my day rate. No, there are certain things that you need to think about now. There's certain forms of insurance. There's forms of liability, workers' comp. You need to think about your invoicing process. You need to think about your it's so many things. It's so many things that are involved with being a business that need to be thought about as well.
But the nice thing is it's so much easier now, because not only are you surrounded with people that can give you this information or help you, you can find this online as well.
True. Very
so
true. But if you're going from gig to gig to gig, are you making the time?
Taking the time? And that's the other critical thing, right, to success is because as you know, in the live events industry, there's a lot of downtime. Now, there's a lot going on, but, as a projectionist, let's say, when that show's going well, everything's working, you might be sitting there for 4, 5, 6 hours. You're kind of like everything's on autopilot. You're just waiting for something to happen, right? What do you do while you're in that situation? You can work on your own business. You can work on your skills because you have all this time. What do you do when you're backstage and you have 6 hours to kill?
I build my business. I manage the business. I'm working on invoicing. I'm working on the labor side of things. I'm also growing as a person, reading certain articles. And just also, like I said, my human resource side. I'm trying to figure out how can I be the best resource for other people. I'm making those connections. I'm building a company, So that's what I work on backstage. And yes, of course, keeping in contact with my family, texting my kids. I was getting text messages from my son yesterday while I was on site, and he was saying, "Hey, are we meeting today after school for our Odyssey of the Mind competition?" I was like, "No. Not today, but we will, tomorrow."
Right.
Just thinking about, actually, what day is today?
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday,
right? Today's Monday.
Yes. So yes, I'm literally leaving this interview and driving back to Tampa. We're in Orlando, driving back to Tampa to coach his team.
And me, my bags are packed right now. I go to the airport and I'm going to ISC for a week. So you're going to Tampa and I'm going to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
But it's just.
You're just name dropping that you're flying to Amsterdam. That's what we do.
Well, it's there's some. I'll tell you what.
You're just going to Tampa. I'm going off to Amsterdam.
Nope. But I'll tell you what, though, I'm really excited about this year's show. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff dropping at ISE this year, and not to get off on a separate subject, but the thing I love about that convention is Infocom is fantastic, right? But it's very social. because you know people. So it's so you're walking the show floor, people stop you, you're having a 45-minute conversation. Then the day goes away, you haven't seen anything. Then at night you've got events to go to, parties. So it's very social. So I've shifted in my mind that Infocom is social networking with gear as a secondary. Not the show's fault, but that's just how it is.
Yes.
What I love about ISE is it's bigger. There's more equipment there, and it's geared towards the European market. So last year when I was there, I ran into 0 people that I knew.
Okay.
Not one person. So you're able to focus, and nobody knows who you are. So you kind of can go into these booths and ask dumb questions, and nobody's
judged.
Nobody's judging. Nobody knows who you are.
Right.
You're not. There isn't a lot of social things because it's Europeans catering towards Europeans. Now, maybe ISE would say differently. Well, it's a global convention. I get that. But the vast majority of the people that are at ISE are local. So you get to go there, put your head down, and you get to see the gear either in the secret room or in the booths that's going to be released at Infocom. So by the time you get to Infocom, you don't really need to focus on the floor. So, you know, I don't mean to plug ISE so much, but I shouldn't even talk about it.
I think we should. I think I should need to go.
It's been my secret weapon for like 5 years because I go out there and I come back and people are like, "How do you know so much about what's coming?" It's like you have a crystal ball.
Nice.
It's like, yeah,
So
it's
I
called
guess-
ISE.
So was it ISE?
ISE.
So next year,
Tyler
Tyler and Clem will be at ISE.
We're going to be broadcasting live from ISE.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't mean to get on an ISE rant.
No, it's
but
all good.
I
Shout
loved
out to
Tampa. First of all, I
ISE.
love Tampa. It's a fantastic city.
Yeah.
So getting back to what we were talking about, what would your advice? You know, you said you've been in the business almost 20 years. You got a young Clem in front of you. Like what's
Clemson,
your
actually, is his name.
Little
Clemson.
Clemson.
Yeah.
So Clemson is in front of you. What are you telling him? Because I don't
Wait, hold on. About life or about the industry?
About the industry. Because life that could be a whole other.
You're right.
That's a third segment. That's a third segment that we could do. And you can talk about the bad too. Like let's talk about like what's the good, what's the bad, what to expect, and how to plan for it.
At first, I'd start off telling them to have fun. If you're not having fun, then don't do it. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, don't do it. I will gladly stay up overnight in the middle of the night doing my job because I love what I do. Okay, but that comes from my mom's situation and learning through my mom. She worked for the IRS for 11 years in D.C. We lived in Maryland. She was unhappy. She was miserable at her job. She quit her job, and we moved to Miami. All we had was a U-Haul with our stuff.
Right.
That's it. So I understand what life is like being unhappy in the pursuit of happiness. That's a movie I love to watch. You know, it's like that feeling, that touch of I'm going to find happiness. I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to stay there. I'm going to find that zone. So that's I tell my son that all the time, you know, and he sees that through myself and through my wife with our careers. We work, we have our jobs, we're happy, but it's also about the management of our time, the management of our money, and management of our relationships. Okay, so yes, we are happy in that space, but we're also setting money aside for our future. I worked 15 years in sports as a camera operator, and my son knows all of this. I'm open. My son is 10 years old. He'll be 10, and I'm very open with him about these type of things. I spent 15 years in shooting sports, and I loved it. I enjoyed it, but there was a point in time where I was tired of the travel, of the day. It was long days. I was tired of the work, and my mind and my body and my heart began to reject the job. So I left. I stopped doing that and focused more attention on this side of the industry. After leaving that, I realized that I spent a lot of time and a lot of energy, but I didn't save a lot of money. Okay? So now, thinking about, there's going to come a point in time when my mind and my body reject this part of this industry, a part of what I'm doing. I'm going to be prepared for that. I'm going to be more financially sound.
Because you know it's coming.
I know it's coming because I've already gone through it.
You can't deny it. It's going to happen.
No, and I've seen it. If you watch people, observe people in the industry, you can see people who are unhappy. You can see people who don't want to be here. I'm not going to be one of those people. I wasn't one of those people before, and I'm not going to be that in the future. That projection that I was talking about before. So I'm going to make the adjustments and the shifts today to prepare for that future, you know? And then so the relationships, even though I may not be on the road as much, I still reach out to people. I still text people. I wish people happy birthday, you know, and that's not just like a Facebook social media thing. No, I'll text you because I'm thinking about you. I'll reach out to somebody. I set up Zoom conference meetings with people. You know, I have on my website, there's a part of www.clemcoab.com/coach.
Right.
You can just reserve time that you want to just sit, chill, and talk. You know, at night, have a Zoom meeting, sit down with a cocktail, and we'll just talk. How are you doing? What's going on? Fill me in. I haven't seen you on the road. I know you're traveling. You know, you're doing your thing. But all of those are life lessons that I teach my children. And that's and those are some of the things that I when I'm mentoring people or coaching them, those are some of the things that I talk about.
Well, that's why I want to have you in today, because I think what you're doing is really smart, and I wish that more people would do it, because I think what we have to do as kind of people that are getting a little bit older in the industry and have been doing this for a while is pass down that knowledge. It's almost like when you have a kid, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, if you have an okay father, mm-hmm. your job is to be a better father than he is, so that your kid can be a better father than you are, right? And we should leave this industry better than the way we found it. And we've learned hard lessons, right? Mm-hmm. We've learned great lessons. We've had a good time. We've had bad times. Things have gone right. Things have gone wrong. Yeah. I think I don't know if you go through this, but I think most technicians, when they're on a show, there's a point where they always question their career, right? Because things are going wrong. You know, there's stressful situations. You're questioning your career in life, and then the show goes great. That dopamine release. Yep. Clem, great job. See you next year. Yeah. And you're like, I love this industry, but you're always going through this roller coaster. Yeah. But I think it's important that more people pass the knowledge down, so that the next generation, so that the kid that's in high school right now, that's going to be the next video engineer mm-hmm. or projectionist or, you know, LED technician.
Well, some people feel
has an easier path. Yeah. You know, they obviously everybody's going to make mistakes and learn, but we can make it just a little bit better.
Some people feel the need to hold the information for themselves. They feel like that's what makes them valuable. I feel like being vulnerable and sharing the information is what actually makes the difference. Okay, there's a song by Big Sean, and I actually listened to it before I got on the way here.
Okay,
because it's one of those things for me. What we do, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than this room. It's bigger than your company. All right? It's bigger than us. But if you're willing to share, open up yourself, give of yourself, you know how many people's lives you can touch? How many lives you can make better? Just by one action, mm-hmm. by one conversation, by being willing to do something different. You can affect so many people and help so many people. And if I don't do what I know I'm supposed to be doing, then I'm hindering other people from being great.
Right.
You know, I want people to get where I'm not. It's taken me this long to get to this point. If you can do that in 20, do it in 20, and I'm happy for you. Every contractor that I work with, any of my subcontractors, they know that I'm their biggest fan. I've got one person starting a 6-month contract today. I text her saying, hey, congratulations, have a wonderful day. I have another guy who's up in Maryland. He's a video projectionist technician. He wants to be in the media server world. Right. He's taking classes. He's gotten that. And I'm reaching out to the people that I know because I know he's a great guy. And I'm trying to help him to advance his career. Because it's bigger than me. I've made all these connections. I know all these people. I care so much. And it's not about me. It's about everybody else.
Yeah, because you could take the path that, you know, knowledge is power. I don't want to pass that on to you because you're going to take my gig, but that's also very short-sighted.
It's selfish.
And like you said, the industry is so big that, if you want to learn media servers, there's a pathway in. And if you can help them get to that you know, down that path faster because of your connections, then that's valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I live life. That's me. That's who I am. That's Clem. That's Clem Co-AV. That's me.
Well, Clem, let's leave it at this. What advice would you give to someone that's just getting into this industry? You know, doesn't know anything about it. What kind of advice would you give them?
Be prepared.
That's exactly what I thought this morning because I asked myself that question. Be prepared. It's a simple 2 words, but it's true.
Yeah. Be prepared. You know, there's a reason why we have redundancies. There's a reason why we do pre-production. Don't just pre-produce a show, pre-produce your life. Have an idea, a mental rendering of what you want it to look like, and prepare yourself for it.
Well, Clem, I wish you a very successful 2019 in both your career and your personal life. It sounds like everything's going great for you, and I appreciate your unique kind of the way you look at the industry and how you're mentoring people and kind of preparing future technicians for the amazing world of live event production. So congratulations to you and everything you're doing, and keep it up.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.